after running very well over the past 2 to 3 weeks for my cash game challenge, I started to hit some obstacle over the last 3 days. So I'm reviewing my top six biggest losses in my cash game over these 3 days, and I couldn't seem to get any run or any cards going for me over these 3 days. Okay, in this hand I have in this hand I have ace pair. So I made my raise, the small blind and the big blind call. So the flop seems to be quite harmless for me, unless of course one of these guys have 5-6, but I think because the probability of this happening is actually very low, so I don't think it actually happens. So especially when the two blinds check to me, so I made a pot size bet because there's actually a flush draw, and the flop is actually quite drawish. So I would like to take the pot now, instead of allowing the players to draw. Okay, so the big blind actually check raise all in. So most likely I think he would have a flush draw with perhaps 2 overcut, and I'm definitely way ahead of this guy. So I actually correctly call, and he actually shows king 10 suited with a flush draw, but unfortunately he draw on me, but this normal because he still have about 30 to 40 percent of winning this race. Yeah, so this is one of my top losses in my cash game. So the second hand is actually I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I'm quite confident that I made the correct laydown, but yeah, it's actually a bit hard for me to take here. Okay, so somewhere in the middle position I made my raise. There's actually a caller. So I hit my top 2 pair on the flop. Okay, so I made my continuation bet, and he actually calls as well. Now this card is actually a very bad card for me because this player has been quite tight when I played him. He's definitely not a fish, but he's not a regular as well, so I have actually never played with him before. So now I have to make a continuation bet here because if I check, then I'm actually showing signs of weakness, but perhaps a check here will be better because I'll be able to keep the pot small and be able to call a river bet or a turn bet in the future. As I was saying, the ace is a very bad card for me because since this guy has been playing quite tight, he could be calling with a premium hand like ace king, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10 perhaps. So when this ace appeared, it is actually quite a bad card for me because this guy could have a better top 2 pair than me. Okay, so but I think I could have made a mistake here. I could have checked here and call any bets that he made. So he actually raises me, and I choose to call. I think calling here could be a mistake because if I'm going to call a bet here, then I must be willing to call another big bet from him at the river because the pot is actually already quite big. Now I think this card is perhaps a card that actually helps me in my decision making because if this guy has an ace, which I think he has, then he should have a better top 2 pair than me. So I'm actually prepared to give up this flop. So when he actually shove all in, I think I have no choice but to fold this hand. And yeah, I would think that this card this is actually quite a cooler for me, because yeah, because of the ace. But I think that's poker, and I just have to live with it. But I think I made the correct laydown, definitely. Okay, so in this hand I have pocket nines, and I would say that this is quite a cooler as well, because it is actually a blind on blind action. The small blind actually has been quite aggressive at the small blind raises, so I actually try to 3-bet him to sort of re-steal, but he actually 4-betted me. And since this guy is actually on a short stack, it only costs about $9 to call this. So I call because, as I said earlier, this is a blind on blind hand, and normally the small blind would have a very wide range of hand in this scenario. Okay, and since I'm actually playing heads up with him, but unfortunately he has king pair. So I would say that this is actually a cooler for me, definitely, because this is actually similar to a heads up situation. 9 pair will be a call in this situation. So yeah, just a cooler, and I don't think I make any mistake here. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, because poker is never that easy. Okay, now another hand, I have 7-8 suited. Now I would sometimes play this and sometimes actually fold this, depending on how tight or loose the table is, as well as which player I'm actually targeting at. Okay, so this guy is actually quite a loose player, and I think my implied odds, if I actually hit my card, will be actually quite tremendous. So I actually call him. Okay, so he made his continuation bet, I call. The turn card is actually quite a good card for me, because apart from a draw, apart from a straight draw, now I have the straight draw to the nuts, as well as the nut flush draw. So I'll be happy to take down this pot here, and especially since this guy actually checks. But he actually check raised me, so this is quite an interesting play, because let's look at what happened at the flop. Okay, at the flop he bets and I call. The jack seems to have stopped him from betting, so I actually bet. So he actually raises me and I call. So I think this kind of play would be something like opposite better. I'm sure he has nothing on the flop. Okay, because he bets at the flop and I call. When the jack comes, maybe okay, as I said, this guy is actually a very loose player, and he's not a very strong player as well. I'm not very sure if he's a fish, I couldn't remember, but there must be something that causes me to call his raises pre-flop with just a suited connector. Okay, so he checks and I raises, he raises me again. I call because I have a nut flush, as well as a straight draw. Now this card, if he has a jack, then he's definitely going to be pushing all in here, because that will just complete his full house. And as I was thinking just now, when I was playing this game, if he's going to jam here, I'm definitely going to fold, because he's definitely going to have his jack full of 9, and I have nothing, definitely. and indeed he actually jams all in. So I'm actually quite sure that he has a jack, and he should have the nuts here, and I actually choose to fold this, which is an easy fold. But again, I'm actually yeah. So I don't think I played badly here, because the turn card or the river card could have actually helped me, but instead it did not. So I lost quite a big pot here as well. Okay, the next hand I have 10 pair. I raises. I call a raise from a type player. This is actually quite a type player. The rest fold, so it's actually heads up with this type player. Okay, so he actually made a continuation bet. I definitely know I'm behind, because this player is never going to double barrel, as you are going to see later, with anything less than top pair top kicker here. So he actually makes a second barrel. Because of my straight draw, I have implied odds if I actually hit my straight, so I actually call. Okay, so at the river I did not manage to get my straight, and this guy actually bets about slightly more than half the pot, and I choose to fold because I am definitely behind, because this is a type player and he's not going to make 3 barrel with anything less than jack pair. Okay, so I lost another huge pot here, but I don't think I can do anything about it, because I have a pair as well as a straight draw, so there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, my last hand here will be king pair, and I've been losing a lot of king pairs and ace pair over these 3 days. The same applies to my SMG as well, which I'm still running very bad. Okay, so with king pair I made my raises. This guy call. This guy is actually quite a tight player, but I've actually indicated in my full tilt notes that he's actually a fish, but maybe I could have made a mistake, because he actually appears to be quite tight, quite solid. So I will definitely have to evaluate this guy again, and maybe I could have actually mistaken him for another one when I actually make my notes. Okay, so he checks here. So I'm trying to represent the ace here, so I actually okay, in this case I check, because as I said, he was a tight player, and yeah, he's a tight player, so I think he's most likely going to call with a strong ace, so that's why I check here. So the turn card is a okay. Another reason why I check here is to pot control, because I want to call his bet if he actually makes it, because he could be actually bluffing me or something like this. So I actually check and try to pot control. Okay, he makes a second check here, so this actually makes me believe that he don't have an ace, and I'm actually trying to represent an ace here by betting. Okay, so he just call, and when he calls, I definitely know he definitely has an ace. So when he leads out here, I should have actually folded, but maybe I'm a bit tilted after losing a few hands, and I actually chose to call, which is a very bad play, and I must actually prevent this from happening again, because I definitely know I'm behind, and yet I actually call a river bet like this and lose the showdown. And yes, and when he actually shows ace jack, I can actually understand why he actually checks on on the flop as well as turn, because I made an early position raise. My image in this table is actually quite tight. I've been playing only about 13% of the hand. So when this guy saw me making a raise in early position, he most likely put me on a better ace than him. So when he hit his top two pair here, he would definitely think that he's ahead, so he actually bets out the river. And I would say that this is actually a very good play on his part. And on the other hand, I actually made a very bad call at the river. Okay, there's no way I'm going to call this, because this is actually a very tight player, and he's definitely going to be he's definitely going to have an ace. Okay, so bad play.